Humans in the world have their own roles. Everyone is the main character in their lives, whether that story is filled with joy or sorrow. No two Tailies are ever the same, and mine is no exception. In my life, I am the main character. Me, yes, I'm Alexis Winder. And honestly, I've lived a pretty normal life. For 26 years, things have gone the usual way. Growing up in a comfortable home, going to school, graduating, moving on to college, getting my degree, and landing a job at a small local company. Nothing out of the ordinary. I even still keep in touch with my best friend from high school. Pretty ordinary, right? Until one day, something happened. Something that would change my life completely. Change everything. And to this day, I still don't know how long it will stay this way. Right now, I'm pacing back and forth at the bus stop near my office, waiting for my 4 best friends. We'd all agreed to meet here before heading to a theme park. Just a small reunion. Something fun to bring us back together. Could say it's a temporary escape from our monotonous routine. I glance at my watch and decide to sit on the bench under the shelter. A light drizzle starts falling, soft and fluttery like tiny snowflakes drifting down. Not long after, my friends begin to arrive. Rena Patricia is the oldest among us. Her straight hair has streaks of blue highlights, and her eyes wide and full of life always seem to shine. Rena's a bit clumsy, always has been. She rubs her cold hands together and greets me with her usual enthusiastic smile.
Hey Alex, you've gotten chubbier lately.
Rena called out, half joking but still poking at my self-esteem. I held her hand and flashed a big, toothy grin.
I thought I was going to be the late one, but it's just you for now.
Sandra Lynn said as we hugged tightly, overjoyed to see each other again after so long apart. Sandra's small frame and pale skin made her look like someone straight out of East Asia, with her cute doll-like face. It's no wonder so many guys had fallen for her over the years. Then came a familiar figure, someone I often saw after work. Adrian Rowland. He's the youngest of us all, with a thin build that suited his sleek, straight hair. His nose was sharp, his lips a little thick. Adrian and I didn't hit it off at first. We actually clashed a lot when we first met. But now, I think we're the closest among the group. I'm sick of seeing you, Anne, I teased, giving him a hard slap on the shoulder.
You think you're the only one tired of this face. I'm sick of looking at yours too. You haven't improved a bit.
He shot back, tossing a crumpled piece of paper at me. Our usual routine. He was also one of the many guys who used to have a thing for Sandra. I paused for a moment and looked around. Hey, where's Will?
Behind you.
Sandra replied quickly. The moment she said that, I felt warm breath on my back. I turned and my eyes lit up. Hey! I greeted the man with droopy eyes and long curled lashes. His smile and the way he walked were unmistakable. Even from far away, we'd always know it was him. Thick eyebrows, perfect teeth. His name was William Shine. I always called him Will.
Hey Alex, it's been a while since that time we went to the mall.
I cut him off, quickly covering his mouth. Will tried to pull away, but I was determined to shut him up.
Oh come on, we know you went to the movies without us.
Sandra whined. Will and I froze, glancing at the others. I just flashed my crooked grin and they all groaned in unison. I finally let him go and he took a deep breath, rubbing his face dramatically from my grip. William nudged me hard and massaged his red cheeks. I kept grinning like an idiot. He made his way over to Adrian, but I kept my eyes on him. I liked him. Since high school. The Will I knew was warm, always ready to help others, including me. Back then, I was the new kid with no friends. Will had been the one to approach me first, inviting me to the library to get textbooks. He was hardworking, kind, and yeah, I fell for him. But he never really returned the feeling. Even though he knew he must have known, he never showed anything back. So I accepted it. One-sided love.
Excuse me.
A woman approached us at the bus stop. I recognized her. She was a street vendor who often set up nearby.
I have something new to show you all. I think you'll really like it.
She smiled wide and pulled out a few small boxes from her bag. I was about to shake my head and turn her down. She had a bit of a reputation for pushing people to buy. But I froze when William actually showed interest. Inside the box was a necklace with a small teardrop pendant, clear and simple. Will opened one and examined it closely.
It's handmade.
The woman explained, now sounding like a professional salesperson.
The person who crafted them said the pendants change color depending on who wears them. Perfect for close friends like you.
We'll put one on. And sure enough, the pendant changed, shining with a golden hue like sunlight. The rest of the group grew curious. One by one, they each took a box from the woman's hand. Her face lit up as they began to put on the necklaces. Clearly thrilled she'd managed to win them over. Rena's pendant turned green, with fine lines forming the shape of leaves. Sandra's shimmered blue, like gentle waves. Adrian's turned a fiery orange similar to Will's, but more like a flickering flame. Each pendant seemed to move inside, like something alive.
How is this even possible?
Sandra asked, still staring at hers.
What did you put in these?
The woman looked just as stunned.
I honestly don't know.
She admitted.
But they're amazing. These are going to be huge, I just know it. And you're the very first ones to have them.
My friends began pulling out their wallets, eagerly paying for the necklaces. They couldn't stop admiring each other's pendants, pointing out the shifting colors and shapes with excitement. Then the woman noticed something. I hadn't bought one.
You're not going to get one?
She asked, gently offering. I shook my head slightly. No, thank you. I think I already have too many accessories.
This necklace is beautiful, Alex. You're not going to let William buy it for you.
Adrian teased, draping an arm around Will's shoulders. Will chuckled softly, but kept his gaze on the woman, who was still trying to sell the pendant to me. William, he's always been gentle like that. Too gentle sometimes. Without saying anything, he quietly bought another necklace, the one she had meant for me. But this one was different. Unlike the others, the pendant didn't glow at all. It remained dull and colorless. Will looked at it curiously and turned to ask the woman something. But by then, she had already walked far down the street, vanishing into the distance.
Oh, the bus is here.
Sandra called out. We all began gathering ourselves and heading toward the bus. Will approached me and held out the necklace he had just bought. I frowned. Why are you giving me this?
I bought it for you.
He said simply.
It looked like that woman really wanted you to have one.
Hey, I told you I didn't need it. I protested.
Just wear it. I have too many now anyway.
He said, slipping the necklace into my hand before climbing onto the bus. I clicked my tongue in annoyance. Adrian followed right after him, throwing me a mischievous grin.
Just wear it. Would be a shame to waste something special.
He teased. I smacked his back a little too hard. Rena and Sandra burst out laughing. Will and Adrian stood near the back of the bus, while the three of us found empty seats and sat down. The boys dove straight into a chat about sports, while we girls started catching up, sharing bits of our lives as if no time had passed.
So,
Sandra suddenly leaned in with a sly smile.
what's going on between you two?
I blinked, confused until she nodded toward Will, still deep in football talk with Adrian.
Why don't you just be together?
Sandra chimed in, nudging me and crossing her arms. What are you even saying? I laughed nervously. That's impossible. You really think I'd ruin our friendship just to be with him? Sandra and Rena exchanged knowing looks. They could see right through my smile. It wasn't real. I finally slipped the necklace on. The pendant slowly started to glow, pure white.
How long are you going to keep this up?
Rena muttered, clearly frustrated.
There are plenty of guys out there who'd love to be with you. But here you are, still waiting for his answer.
I just smiled again and wrapped an arm around her shoulder. As the bus rolled on, we chatted like it was a true school reunion, filled with laughter, stories, and the warmth of old friendships. But then, Adrian frowned. He felt it first. Something was wrong. Outside the windows, the sky had suddenly turned dark. Thunder cracked. Lightning streaked across the clouds. Our voices faded. Everyone on the bus fell silent. This wasn't just bad weather. It felt wrong, unnatural. None of us expected it. Lightning struck loud and merciless, hitting the tallest, oldest tree by the side of the road. The crackling sound was deafening, and we all screamed at the top of our lungs. Flames devoured the bark with terrifying speed, wrapping the tree in bright, angry fire. Then it fell. The bus driver slammed on the gas, trying to get us out of the way. But the burning tree was too fast, too heavy. The top of it crashed against the back end of the bus, and the force of it knocked the entire vehicle sideways like a tin can kicked by a child. Everything was chaos. We tumbled, tossed around inside like candy in a shaken jar. Screams filled the bus. I scrambled upright, heart pounding, and frantically looked around.
Is everyone okay, Rena? Alex? Sandra, are you hurt? Adrian?
William promptly assured us that we were fine. Everyone looked shaken, but miraculously, no one seemed seriously injured. Then I saw her. A middle-aged woman a few seats away was frantically trying to gather her scattered belongings, her hands trembling. There was a strange tension in her expression, like she knew something wasn't right. "Ma'am, are you okay?" I asked gently. She didn't answer right away. William knelt beside her to help collect her things. Then the woman suddenly looked up. Her gaze locked on me, sharp and focused.
Are you Alexis?
She asked. I froze. What? How did she know my name? Yes, I said cautiously. My name is Alexis. Without warning, she grabbed my wrist hard. I winced, startled. Her grip was strong, desperate. Like she needed to tell me something, but couldn't find the words. "Ma'am?" I asked, concern rising in my voice. Will quickly came to help me, trying to ease her.
Are you alright, ma'am? Are you in pain? What do you feel?
He tried to pull her hand off me, that she clung to me with all her might.
Whoa, Mom, calm down. What's wrong? Is she hurting you?
Will's voice wavered with confusion.
Please, talk to us. Maybe we can help you.
Sandra moved in beside us, tugging at the woman's arm as I cried out from the pressure. Still, the woman didn't speak. She was gasping for air, eyes wide with some unspoken fear. My friends surrounded me now, trying to separate us.
She's not letting go. Is she having a panic attack?
Rena shouted.
Should we call for a medic? She looks like she's going to.
No!
The woman's voice suddenly cut through everything like a blade, sharp, piercing. We all stopped. She froze, unmoving, eyes fixed on mine unblinking. What the hell? I whispered, trembling under her stare. Is she possessed or something?
This is weird.
Adrian said, scanning the space around us.
Why does it feel like everything's stopped?
And he was right. I looked around and my stomach dropped. Everything had stilled. The other passengers, the driver, the flames outside, the smoke curling in the air. Everything had frozen in time, like statues in a living nightmare.
What is this?
Adrian said, panic rising. I turned to my friends. We were the only ones still moving, the only ones not frozen. And the woman, the strange, trembling woman, remained locked in place too, still staring straight at me.
I think we're dreaming. Sandra, slap me.
Rena whispered. Sandra just shook her head, clearly in no mood for jokes.
There's something wrong with her.
William said, narrowing his eyes.
Why was she after you? Do you know her? Have you seen her before?
I shook my head firmly. No, I said. Never.
Then what's the connection? How does she know your name? Was she trying to pass a message to you?
You ask too many questions.
Adrian cut in.
What really matters is why the hell is everyone frozen?
I don't know. This is just so weird.
Sandra murmured. She took a step forward, intending to check on one of the frozen passengers. But something crinkled under her foot. A piece of paper, crumpled, dirty, like it had been there for a while. It looked like a page torn from a newspaper. She bent down to pick it up and studied it, brows furrowed.
Hey,
She said, almost in a whisper. She stepped back toward us, still staring at the page, then held it out.
does anyone know what this is?
It was a black and white photograph, a formal one. 5 figures stood in what looked like combat uniforms, each of them eerily similar to us. Above the photo, bold block letters read, "The owners have vanished."
The owners?
We said in unison. Before we could speak another word, the old woman moved again. In a flash, she lunged forward and grabbed me and William with unnatural strength. And all of us turned to her, stunned.
Help us.
Her voice echoed, loud and deep, as if it came from somewhere far beyond her throat. Her eyes suddenly lit up, emitting a light that is very dazzling for our eyes. We couldn't move. Something shifted, a pressure in the air, like the world around us had collapsed inward. Then we felt it, a pull. Something invisible, vast and hungry drawing us in. Like a giant vortex had opened inside the bus, sucking us toward it. The walls blurred, the floor vanished beneath our feet, and light and sound twisted into silence. And then, everything snapped back. The bus returned to normal. People moved again. They blinked, yawned, spoke, checked their phones like nothing happened. None of them realizing that 5 people had just vanished into thin air. Yes, we were gone. We were no longer there. A soft chiming echoed in my ears, delicate, like wind brushing over crystal. My eyes were still shut, too heavy to lift. So I let the world come to me through sound. The faint clatter of something in the distance. And then a scent, warm, rich, mouth-watering. The aroma of food drifted past me, and as if on cue, my stomach grumbled in protest, starved. I tried to move. Pain shot, an immediate shot through my limbs. A groan escaped my lips, and the sound must have caught someone's attention.
Cam, you'd better come. She's waking up.
A man's deep voice said, not someone I recognized. Footsteps followed, quick, purposeful. A moment later, I felt a gentle pressure near my legs.
Yes, she's waking.
A soft, lilting voice added, this one clearly a woman. I furrowed my brows and forced my eyes open. Light spilled in. The first thing I saw was the ceiling. Then, slowly, I turned my head toward the voice. A young woman was standing hunched over beside me. Her face kind and calm, a soft smile playing at her lips.
Thank goodness, you're awake,
she said. I instinctively tried to sit up, but pain slammed into the back of my skull. I cried out, clutching my head as it throbbed wildly.
Don't move too fast,
she warned, placing a careful hand on my shoulder.
You must have hit something pretty hard. My brother found you unconscious right outside our house.
I blinked at her, disoriented.
You were lying on our front lawn when he heard a loud crash. It was early, he was just about to leave for work. He thought something had fallen from the roof, but then he saw you.
I turned my head toward the figure sitting across from the bed on my right. A man. He sat with his arms crossed tightly across his chest, expression unreadable. Thick brows, beautiful eyes framed with long lashes. His hair fell straight over his forehead, giving his face an effortlessly handsome look. He didn't speak, just watched. The woman noticed my glance.
Oh, right. I forgot to introduce us,
she said brightly.
I'm Camille Van Morgan, and that's my younger brother, Thoper Van Morgan.
She smiled wide and genuine, clearly proud of the names.
And you are?
I inhaled to answer, but nothing. A dry, choking tightness clung to my throat. I blinked hard, then looked down at my trembling hands. Something was wrong, deeply wrong. I couldn't breathe for a second. My whole body froze. Camille's smile faltered as she noticed the color draining from my face.
Hey, are you okay? What's wrong?
She asked, reaching gently to touch my shoulder. I stared at her, unable to form the words. Then I whispered harsh and cracking, Camille leaned closer.
Yes?
My voice broke as I forced the words out. I don't remember my name.